What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. White people are the architects of their own oppression. They're the architects of their own oppression, and they're the ones who continue to be oppressed. And the thing is, there's different types of oppression, different genres of oppression. So the well-to-do, right, the rich amongst them, which throughout their entire history, there's been a story of the nobles, the rich, the dukes, right? The few wealthy families taking advantage of 99% of the population. I mean, their entire history is about a few who justify suppressing the majority in order for them to be able to live high on the hog, right? To be able to be plentiful, to have bounty amongst a few, while the great majority have nothing. They use religion to trick the minds of Europeans into believing that, God said it was them. God said they can do all this stuff, and that your pain and your suffering is part of God's plan, and that you will reap the benefits later when you die. But while you're alive, by the way, you're a sinner, and you should be paying reparations to the rich people, for the fact that you get to live somehow, right? So in order to continue to oppress these white people, because white people have been slaves their entire existence. The only time white people ever had a semblance, I'm talking about normal Europeans, right? A semblance of power is when they became the working class of their colonies, right? So America, which is a colony of Europe, right? The working class white person was able to have a semblance of power, right? When they gave them that white title. That white title is an artificial title that white people hold on to, right? In order to maintain the power they think they have. But the whole time, they've been taken advantage of. And the only thing they have to do is to continue to oppress everybody else. You see, the rich people, their power is artificial. Their power is in the ability to persuade the masses that they have some kind of power. And if they want to hold on to that power, they need to do what the rich people tell them to do. That's why when you hear people talk about Donald Trump, what do they say? He's a businessman. They don't care that he's a terrible businessman. They don't care that he's a spoon-fed, rich goddamn piece of shit, black sheep of the family. All they know is this rich white guy in a suit said this, and they're going to believe that. Because they believe by supporting this rich white man who wouldn't piss on them if they was on fire, by supporting him, then they are in turn supporting themselves, right? Which in fact is them working against their own interests, right? In order to oppress themselves, right? Because listen, white people who complain about the Democrats, right? And I'm not saying the Democrats are any good, but Democrats are better than the Republicans. As far as sociability, as far as at least pretending like you care about the people somewhat, but very far off. But just like black folks and other people who have been waiting for the Democrats to do something significant to improve their lives, Republicans have been loyal. White people have been loyal to the Republicans, right? In these Republican-run states, which are highest in crime, right? Highest in poverty, right? No investment from the government. But these white folks have been convinced that it's the other people's fault, not the rich white people that they go and vote for every 2 and 4 years, that lie in their face every 2 and 4 years. But it's those others that are the bane of their existence. It's those other people, just like when white folks and Irish first came to America and they wondered why they couldn't get a job because the Africans and the Chinese were building the railroads because the rich corporations didn't want to pay top dollar to these white folks, right? So the white folks would gather together and form unions and try to force the corporations to pick them over the black and the Chinese. But here's the thing, corporations and capitalism is about making money. Capitalism is in the name. It's the worship of money, the pursuit of money, riches above everything, right? So any corporation, as you can see now, they will hire anybody they can pay less. That's why they hire the Indians for the call centers. That's why they have the Latinos out there in the fields, because they can pay them less. They're not going to pay a white person a livable wage when they can pay an Indian or Latino a non-livable wage, and they accept it. You understand? It's just, that's capitalism 101. And white folks have been tricked and believing that it's Mexicans taking their job, black people taking their jobs, Indians taking their jobs. No, it's the rich white people in the suits that white people keep voting for that's taking their jobs because they don't want to pay them. And until white people figure this out, they're going to continue to be the architects of their demise. They're going to continue to be the architects of their oppression. All they have to do is make a decision to say, fuck it, let me do something different. Look at all these Republican-run states, right? So while they're sitting here talking about we got the libs and while they give them red meat to chew on while taking everything from them, look at Republican states. They're welfare states. Most Republican states don't make money for America. Most Republican states are subsidized by the Democratic states. Most Republican states are in poverty. Most of these white people who worship Donald Trump, who I said, once again, wouldn't piss on them if they was on fire, they're worshiping people that hate them, that belittle them, that look down on them. They are the white trash putting themselves in the trash, and they haven't realized it yet. And black folks, because we have been the main target of ignorant white people who are oppressed so they can oppress us. They are the ignorant pawns, the ignorant army that continue to oppress us by giving them mid-tier jobs like police officer, correctional officer, judges, lawyers, all the little faculties that they can use to continue to oppress the people, the African-American people who bring value to the country on the cheap, while simultaneously oppressing the white people by making them feel like they got their mid-tier power, when in fact they have no power. That's why you look at our politicians now, they're all owned by corporations. All the white men in suits are owned by rich white men in suits. And they come in your face and they lie in your face. But now we get to the point where they're not even lying. They're just telling you, we're not going to do this for you. We're not going to support you. We're not going to invest in your communities. We're not going to invest in your education. We're not going to do anything, but we'll do everything for Israel, though. They say it in your face, right? So until white people wake up, because the thing is, black folks, we've been woke. And that's not what the rich white people are afraid of. Because we've been woke from the beginning. We ain't never had a chance to sleep. We've been woke. What they're afraid of is white people waking up. They're afraid of a Bacon Rebellion 2.0. Once white people wake up, which is what they're afraid of, that's why they demonize the word woke. Even though they actually use the word woke in reference to their right-wing Christian conservatism. That's the hypocrisy. They use the word woke. Waking up to your condition. Waking up to your surroundings. But the thing is, the dangerous thing is white people waking up and listening to what black people have been saying this whole time. Latino people waking up and listening to what black people have been saying this whole time. When everybody listens to black people and what we've been saying this whole time, then there'll be enough of us, because we have the numbers, right? There'll be enough of us to make effective change, because we're going to need a change. This shit is unsustainable. We cannot sustain what's going on right now. The bubble will pop. And when the bubble pops, where you going to be? Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
White people won't fight for their own liberation because the consequences of fighting for their own liberation does not currently outweigh the oppression that they are under. I used to think that empathy would be a thing, but then I realized that the majority of Americans do have some concept of the history that really went on, and they're minimizing it because our education system lets them. And let's be real, because our parents told us really not nice and not good and not true things about other communities, because they did. Don't look at me and say they didn't, because they did. Every single one of us knows at least 3 stereotypical race-driven jokes that all of our relatives said. I have seen white people lie to themselves so badly that they don't honestly know that they're in poverty. I've seen white people completely unaware of the fact that they were disabled and talk very strongly in negative fashion about both of those communities. So I honestly believe that until white people's oppression becomes heavier than the consequences of liberation, not a lot of this is going to change. So it might actually take fascism. And even then, 80 years after that.
Okay, did a 12-hour shift, had some homework due, and had some research. I could not believe what my 90-year-old patient told me yesterday, and we weren't even talking about politics, but it explained all of us in our current situation now. We were talking about rich and poor. That's it. We weren't talking about politics. But guess what she told me? Guess what, white people? I'm so sorry. I didn't know this. You have been oppressed, but it's not in the way that they're selling you now with DEI. It's another way that they've been oppressing you that my people had no idea about because they were oppressing us in other ways. We're talking about rich and poor now. It was never black and white, you guys. I told you this a long time ago, but I could not believe how much so it was about rich and poor. Okay, so guess what? All of these social programs were for you, white people. They weren't meant for us whatsoever. We were trying to get reparations, AKA back pay. We were working for years for free, needed back pay. They kept promises they were going to do something, never did. But what they were doing was watching out for you. Remember, the Great Depression was horrible, right? White people were suffering. They don't care about us suffering, but they cared about you suffering. So they were trying to implement these things in place for you. Something called workman's compensation. You get hurt at the job, you don't have to die. They're going to help you pay for your stuff and blah, blah, blah. Something called Medicare. You can't afford your bills. Oh, it's okay. We're going to take care of that. Oh, you don't make enough money. All of these social programs were for you, white people. They were trying to deflect reparations as best they could and said, okay, we're going to help our people. Literally, going to help you. And about 5 years after that, we then had another war. Right? Another war. This shit's getting expensive now. Excuse my French. So guess what they were whispering to you? Don't take a handout. Pull yourself up from your bootstraps. You don't want to be like them. Guess what they did? Shift, change. They started putting applications out to Black, brown, and Chinese people for these programs and then whispering to your culture not to take them, even though you needed them. They had you believing that just the undesirables, us, because they were allowing us, the people they took everything from, Native Americans, use the Chinese like crazy. You know what they did to my people. So instead of paying us what they owed, they decided to say, hey, we're going to trick you again, my culture now. Here's an application. If you work, you can get something called Social Security. If you work and you can't do it anymore, we'll give you Medicare, something like that. So instead of paying us back pay, they then allowed us to fill out the applications for all the social programs that they were giving you. Then they decided to whisper into your ear and tell you, don't take it. Pull yourself up from your bootstraps. You don't want a handout. Even if you're starving, you don't want a handout. You don't want to be like them. Me. Fast freaking forward. I have a patient who believed this, watched Fox News. Literally, I saw this man clapping when that big, horrible bill got passed. The tax bill. Let's call it what it is. When that tax bill got passed, I saw my elderly white man clapping it up, watching Fox News. Now, his wife has been my patient for over the better half of 3 weeks. They're both in their 80s. She can't remember anything. I mean, this woman's going to need care around the clock, right? He was told the next day, hey, guess what? You can't keep taking care of her on your own because guess what we notice about you? Now you, the healthcare provider, the husband, you can't remember nothing. You're both going to need memory care facilities. Guess how much that is a month? $10,000 to $20,000 a month, over about $120,000 a year. Do you have that? Of course not. Who has that except for the rich? We don't have that. That's okay. There's Medicare for you to help pay for her stay and yours. Oh, but we don't know now if that's going to work out for you. His heart was broken and on the floor. He could not believe that the very bill he was clapping for just a couple of weeks ago has so affected him greatly so fast because the trick was there. They're oppressing you in this way. Your government is oppressing your culture, the white culture, in this way. It's not the same way that they oppress us. They yell at us on a megaphone and go, ninja, ninja this, you ain't this, we're going to take from you, brown, brown, wet this, that. They make it very flagrant on how they treat us. But with you, they do it with whispers. They whisper to you, bootstrap. Pull yourself up from these bootstraps. You're supposed to strap a boot to something and make nothing out of something. Oh, Don't take no handout. You don't want to be like them. So it's mind-blowing to me that the very programs that you are all clapping up to disappear, they were meant for you. They have been just whispering into your grandfather's ear, your great-grandfather's ear, your mom's ear, and now you and your kids. Pull yourself up from your bootstraps. Don't take no handout, even if you're starving. That's oppression. White folks, you have been oppressed, but it had nothing to do with DEI. It had nothing to do with transgender bathrooms, and it had absolutely nothing to do with Medicaid or Medicare or someone illegal in this country getting it. It was all about taking it from you. And the best way they knew how to trick you was for you to vote for it and to convince you it's what you wanted. Now, I know it's time for you to wake up. That's what woke was. That's why they told you woke was bad, because it was you who was waking up. Do with that information as you will. I'm just here to tell you what a white woman told me, who was 90 years old, on how her culture in this country has been oppressed. And as this black woman was listening to it, it all made sense to me. We're gonna get through this, you guys, but we need to literally wake up. You are loved, you are blessed, and you are never alone. God bless you, humans.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.